Bam!
Okay, I'm rocking and rolling here. Oh, actually I'm coprifying. This video is about the metal of Venus. Now Venus, of course, is a planet, but the metal of Venus is copper. And oddly enough, and so cool, the copper deposits on Earth are found along the Venus line. The Venus line, you can look it up in astrology and stuff, but it's an actual where it's an astronomical relationship that Venus has with where it passes along the Earth. And nearly all of the copper deposits are found in that what's called the Venus line. It's really cool. It's very strange. But it's an aspect of Venus. And so this video is about how to make real monatomic. Yeah, I've seen all of these things for like copper, colloidal copper. And I do have some advice. Is run away! Don't take anything internally unless it's only monatomic. It shouldn't be any color. It shouldn't be brown. It shouldn't be green. And the amount that you take, if you do take it internally, is you have to be so conservative because copper doesn't go well in your body. Okay. We got this all started out here. We got, you can't be too, about, doing these serious things. So, in Chinese medicine, the tonic for the kidneys, which is supposed to be very helpful for your youth and for your skin and for your hair color, is called, when translated, it's called young man hair black. And by cleaning up and nurturing the kidneys, you wind up with something that actually works. That's why when people put copper bracelets on and all that, it really does relieve pain. Your body starts taking in that copper on the surface. And so we have several different forms that we offer of copper. The green ones are all topical. Oils, soap, things like that. And you can't OD by putting copper on the outside of your body, just like iodine, because the body regulates the amount of copper that comes in through the skin. Now, we do make Manna, which is a white preparation, which is very refined, it's very carefully done, it's a long process, and this does show you how to do that. You have to have a kiln, and it's really fun to do it, but it takes years of playing with it to get a truly good white precipitate of copper. So we're going to go through this. At the end of it, we'll do the steps again and show you again the formula for making true monatomic copper Manna. Manna being like this jelly-like white precipitate. Okay, so first of all, gloves. You should always use gloves when handling lye. And this is called a lye burn, and you use 2 tablespoons of lye. Now this lye is has gotten exposed to a little bit of the atmosphere. Oops, I'm going to put it in here to mix it up. 2 of those. Roughly, what you're doing is you're trying to separate the copper from itself with the lye at very, very high temperatures. And this copper is pure electronic copper. It's 99.9% pure, and it's not copper oxide. It's pure copper. And so we put the, I'm not gonna put the thing down in there. Okay, there's that. And it's 4 to 1. 4 tablespoons of lye to 1 tablespoon of copper. And normally I'll do 3 or 4 tablespoons of copper and then times 4 for the amount of lye. And then this is going to be a challenge to mix it up. But that's what you do. Get it all mixed up. Now this burn, I'm going to be recycling some of the copper doesn't go into solution, and then that's copper and lye that you can recycle. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing a little bit of recycling of stuff that did not. What was that? It's this thing. Whoa! So I'm taking some of the copper and lye that didn't show up. That didn't burn in the last burn. And I'm mixing it in. That's recycling this copper. And that, mix it so it gets pulverized and mixed all together. Then it gets put in a crucible, and it has to come up to a really hot temperature, which is almost cone 1. Bright red is cone 1. It doesn't have to go quite bright red, but it has to go to a dull red and stay there for a half an hour. It has to really cook in order to separate the copper atoms, because they stick together. And when you do this with the lye, the sodium in the lye attacks the copper and pulls it apart. It's called disaggregation in alchemy. And this is how you disaggregate copper. And then next we'll show you how the kiln is used and like that. And this is what your copper with the lye in it should look like before it's heated in the kiln or under a hugely intensely hot flame. Somebody want to hazard putting that on there? Yeah, I don't know. Hang on, let me turn it way down. There you go. Remember to line up, you got it. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, isn't that cool? Ow! it. Look at it glowing from the inside. So what I'm going to do for the next steps in this video is I'm going to just put up a page with the steps to follow instead of showing it step by step. It takes days for it to settle. It's best to take it slow and easy in this process. And remember, this process can be used on any metal like iodine. It's amazing on iodine. It produces an iodine that is just unequal in energetic value to any iodine you can even imagine. And there's every nutrient, every metal that we need can be processed like this. It's part of the alchemical cycle of tearing it apart in real words instead of, ancient Greek. This is the elemental mercury and salt, and instead of doing that just as regular words of what we're doing, we're pulling the elements apart, and then we're putting it back into a solution and trapping it with some magnesium hydroxide. Without the magnesium hydroxide, the very etheric elements, which are much lighter, they're like anti-gravitational, they actually will float up out of your solution and escape. This is the color of the green precipitate of copper. This is the oxide of copper. That the white precipitate of copper should look like. It should look like regular Ormus, only it's copper Ormus.